The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Main Event Podcast. We are here discussing Impact Hard to Kill 2023, which, if the logo doesn't give it away, took place on Friday the 13th of January 2023. Yeah. It's all there. All the information is right there in the logo for you.
All ready for you.
They're not messing around. I'm Jez. That's the belt collector, Dan.
Me.
Hopefully he'll be one belt down within the next couple of weeks. This is our penultimate event in the quarter. Yeah. Predicting this one, predicting the Royal Rumble. Belt coming back to me. That's how that's going to work, Dan. Don't know if you know. That's not a prediction. That is a spoiler.
All right, Paul Heyman.
Oh.
Wrong company.
But speaking of Paul Heyman, and completely irrelevant to Impact, but I've got to talk about this with you.
There we go.
The NFL. You know I'm a big fan of the NFL. And you may have heard of this because it just did the rounds on the internet. The San Francisco 49ers have had a bit of a rough season, and they're down to their third quarterback of the year. He is a brand new player. He's a rookie, was drafted last in the NFL draft. His name is Brock Purdy.
Oh, I think I've seen. Yeah.
So on the other show that I do, or one of the other shows that I do, 2 Minute Warning, where we do talk about American football, I called for, if the San Francisco 49ers made the playoffs, I called for Paul Heyman to do an introduction for Brock Purdy, obviously in the vein of Brock Lesnar. The San Francisco 49ers did make the playoffs, and in the pre-game video packages, they had Paul Heyman kind of promoting SmackDown, but also, talking about the game. And he did indeed drop a picture-perfect Brock Purdy. And it was incredible, and I marked out, and I was very happy with it. It was all of my worlds colliding, and it was fantastic. I'll be discussing it a little bit more. What, to me? I know, it's incredible.
To these podcasts.
Yeah. We'll be discussing it a bit more on 2 Minute Warning as well. I may even play the clip of it on 2 Minute Warning, because why not? And I'll be more prepared for that. But I thought you'd appreciate that as well. Paul Heyman out there doing God's work.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But we're not discussing WWE or the NFL. We are discussing Impact Wrestling. And this actually marks 1 year of Impact Wrestling coverage on the Main Event Podcast.
Yeah.
The first event that we did for Impact Wrestling was Hard to Kill 2022.
No.
And that was a pretty good event from what I remember. And this one, spoilers, was pretty good as well. So let's crack into it. On the countdown show, which was a suitably lengthed 30 minutes. I like a 30-minute countdown show with a couple of matches on it.
Good amount of time.
There's no need for an hour. It's not necessary. Angels versus Delirious versus Mike Jackson versus Yuya Uemura versus Mike Bailey versus Kushida. Number one contendership for the X Division Championship, I believe. What did you think of this match? This seems like a very much your wheelhouse kind of match.
Yeah. I thought it was a good little kickoff. Good little start. The old guy can move. Oh, yeah. All I gotta say.
Yeah. No, one of my pros was Mike Jackson diving from the ring. And they're like, yeah, he saw Mike Bailey do it, and he had to come and have a go. And I quite like that as a little story as well. There was lots of action in this match, and I think they did a really good job of it not just becoming a really turn-takey affair. Like, you only tended to have two people in the ring at any given time. That was kind of a given. But they kept fighting outside of the ring. There wasn't just people lying around and waiting for their turn, like often happens in these multi-man matches. So there was continual action. There wasn't really any turn-taking, and I appreciate that. Because, Dan, I don't know if you can do the math, but a 6-man match is basically just 2 triple threats together. And you know how I feel about triple threats.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. 2 times 3 is 6, and that's how many we had in this match.
Well, I'm working it out.
You can use your fingers. It's fine. No one will judge you.
Right. Hold on. Oh, yeah.
He's not used to seeing the number 6 because he never predicts that high, obviously. Do you have anything that you didn't like about this match?
There was quite a few times when, like, if someone was like going to jump on somebody, all the people would just suddenly stop and just kind of stand around.
That is the downside of them constantly fighting, is that then when there's a big spot's about to happen, you have to kind of wait for it a little bit.
And it's the way that you can, especially there was one in the ring where I can't remember who's jumping off onto 3 of them, and they literally just stood there for a minute holding on to each other, just looking up.
Allow us to observe the wrestler in the ring. Hark, what will he do? Oh, he's jumping on us. Yeah. The only con I had was that the old school spot from Mike Jackson, it was just far too long.
It went on for 8.
In reality, like, someone like Angels would have just gone, yump, and yoinked him off into the ring. So it was just a bit unbelievable to me.
Fair play to him, though. He was, 70-something?
Yeah, I think he's 74.
So, doing all that.
Doesn't show any signs of stopping either. Like,
no.
Like, I really hope it doesn't happen, but like, something bad could happen to that dude in the ring, and
that's what I'm thinking.
And I'm like, I don't want to see that. So could you not maybe?
Yeah.
Could you just have one more and then just call it, because
just retire?
We don't need that.
No.
Like, Impact Wrestling doesn't need that. That will be the end of the company if they have somebody die in the ring because they let a 74-year-old man wrestle. Like, that's the end of their company. So
bye Impact.
Can you not? Just please, thanks. Predictions. Who did you go for?
I believe I went with old Speedy Bawley.
You did go with old Speedy Bawley, so you didn't get a point. I went with Kushida, so I start the show as the ones. Boom. That doesn't happen.
Do you know why I didn't pick Kushida?
No, tell me.
Because I forgot.
Because you forgot that Kushida was Kushida?
Yes.
Yeah. Fair enough, then.
It's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Bailey was my second choice. I think they do want to keep bringing credible opponents to Trey Miguel, although we'll discuss the next match. But yeah, Kushida with the win. Kushida being used pretty much as he was in NXT, so hopefully that doesn't bother him, and he stays there and enjoys his time. But we shall see. We shall see on that one. I'd like to see him as X Division champion. I think that would be fair.
That'd be cool.
Speaking of the X Division Championship, our next match was for that belt. Trey Miguel defending against Black Taurus. First time seeing Trey Miguel in quite a while for us, because we didn't do the latter end of Impact events in 2022 because they weren't pay-per-view, and we were getting a bit bored of phoned-in non-pay-per-view events for Impact during the midpoint of last year. So first time seeing heel Miguel. What do you think of that?
I'm not so sure.
Oh, really?
I don't think he can be a heel.
I think he's doing quite a good job of it. The heel that he plays kind of comes across as that kind of spoilt brat kind of character. Like he doesn't actually look like, a gangster street taggery type character that he's trying to play. But he does look kind of like that disgruntled Beverly Hills kid who goes out and tags things because he thinks he's a rebel. Like, I think that is the character that he is kind of putting out there. Not sure that's the intention, but that's the kind of character that he is presenting. And it works as a heel because not only do you then not like him for doing the things that he does, but because he's not really credible, he comes across as a bit of a poser at the same time. So you're not going to like him and you're going to boo him, and perfect heel. That's what I think anyway. But if you don't like him as a heel, you don't like him as a heel. Fair enough. He can still go, obviously. Like, he still is a fantastic in-ring competitor. What did you think about Black Taurus as a competitor for the X Division Championship?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It went better than I was expecting.
Oh, yeah. But
to be honest. I feel like he has improved.
Yeah, I don't think he should be in the X Division picture.
No. And, it's not about weight limits. It's about no limits, as Mike Tenay used to throw out back in the day. But I do think you need the element of the high-flying, speedy aspect. And it's not that Black Taurus is slow, but he isn't the same speed as your average X Division competitor. So, but I feel like he did a good job. I liked the top rope body slam where he just yeeted Trey Miguel like he was a child across the ring. That was wonderful. I like the spray paint aspect of cheating to win, spray paint in the eyes. My only con is that this belt, this championship, should never be on the pre-show, ever. It's disrespectful.
Yep.
To your own belt. Anything to add?
No.
The good news is that you picked up a point from this one, and I added another point. We both went with Trey Miguel for the win, as was probably inevitable.
Yeah.
So the score is 2 to Jez, 1 to Dan.
I am the 1. You are a number 2.
Thanks for that. Opening up the main portion of the pay-per-view, because it was a pay-per-view, we had a tribute to Don West, who unfortunately passed away from lymphoma at the end of 2022. Any thoughts, memories about Don West that you'd like to share?
Not particularly, because, as I said, I haven't really watched much of the TNA or Impact, so,
Yeah, I was never a massive fan of his commentary, but you could definitely see how much he enjoyed what he was doing and the passion that he had for what he was doing. I just think he was put in a situation that was always going to be difficult. And I liked there was a period where he kind of went into a Michael Cole Healy kind of role. And he just sat there giving Mike Tenay a hard time for the entire show. I enjoyed that quite a lot. And obviously he was a great dude who did a lot for Impact Wrestling. So thoughts with his family and friends. And they've been kind of suffering for a while as he has struggled with this. So the bright side is that he is at peace now. And hopefully the money that has been raised for lymphoma charities can help to make a difference there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we go from that into what was the kickoff of the show, the Impact World Championship match. Full Metal Mayhem, Josh Alexander versus Bully Ray. Kicking off the show with a big World Championship match.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Did it meet the hype for you? It's been built for a while, the last Impact event that we did, Bully Ray won the opportunity for this match. So it's been building quite some time. There's been a heated rivalry between them between then and now. Give me your pros, please, sir.
My pros. I like the way it started with, Bully Ray just going, no, I'm going to the back. I'm going to jump him. Okay.
Yep.
Sorted. Getting the tables out quickly. Good. Get that done. The cheese grater.
Yeah.
Just why not?
Why not? Indeed. Yeah. It's not the first time it's been used, and it won't be the last. But I think it worked in this match. Yeah.
The crowd chanting "You sick F."
Yeah, at the person you wouldn't have expected them to chant it at. They were chanting it at Josh Alexander, which was cool. Yeah.
The thumbtacks. Always funny to see thumbtacks. Knee with a chain. Getting kneed in the face. Tommy Dreamer. Coming out and faking, going to side with Bully, then change his mind and getting put through a table. Why not? His wife getting involved, giving it a good low blow. Go on, So I enjoyed it.
Yep, you have just literally run through my list of pros in order. Actually, you ran completely through them, and then I have one on the end: the splash from the ladder through a table to finish. Yeah. Oh, one that is slightly different from yours, but same kind of idea. The ankle lock with the chain wrapped around the neck of Bully Ray and just kind of closing him up backwards. That was cool. I enjoyed that. I don't have any cons in this match.
I don't either.
This was a great match.
This was a fantastic match.
I've got to give it credit. It's not what we used to from Josh Alexander, obviously. No. He is a very technical, brawly, but technical kind of wrestler. A Kurt Angle-esque wrestler, as Bully Ray did describe him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely came up to the level of Bully Ray. We'd seen him in some of the kind of more extreme hardcore matches in 2022. And what is going to be great for you is that I went with Bully Ray for the win.
Did you?
I did. Yeah, I really thought this was the end for Josh Alexander, because we discussed it with Bron Breakker in the NXT show that we did last. Like, it seemed like they were waiting for something, and that was to have the longest reign. Josh Alexander is now the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Champion, so that was done. As far as I was concerned, check. Let's just develop some story. And I thought Bully Ray winning would have been a good move, and I still think it would have been a good move. But I also think that Josh Alexander picking up this win the way he did, with the help of his wife, is another good move. So you did go for Josh Alexander, and then picked up the point, which takes you to joining me as a number 2.
We are 2 big number 2s.
2 big steaming number 2s. Yeah. Next, if you can, come down from the World Championship match.
Yeah.
4-team elimination tag team match. For the Impact World Tag Team titles. Motor City Machine Guns, the champs, taking on the major players, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, Bullet Club, and Heath and Rhino. I don't have any cons for this match either. That's not to say it was as good as the opening match.
No.
But it was definitely enjoyable. My biggest pro, and this probably won't shock you, is that the match was properly named. This was, indeed, a 4 corners tag team match. It wasn't a fatal 4-way tag team match.
No.
Take note, WWE. Take note, AEW. Yeah. This is a 4 corners tag team match.
Yeah.
It's not difficult to get right. As for the match itself, there are some great tag teams in Impact Wrestling, and they also have Heath and Rhino.
It's how casually you said that. Impact Wrestling has some great tag teams, and they have Keith and Rhino.
I mean, show me the lie. Show me the lie. I did also enjoy the champs just sitting back and watching everyone fight. It wasn't a particularly babyface move, but it's not like they didn't try to get in the match. They tried to get in the match, and they just left them on the apron. So stupid move from the rest of the teams, and the Motor City Machine Guns, as veterans, are going to take advantage to that. And I also liked, as the match progressed, and this lets you know information that you don't have, it came down to your prediction versus my prediction as the last two. Yeah. Yeah, so I quite liked that from my own personal enjoyment point of view, watching it going, oh, who's going to win? Who's going to get the point? It's going to be good. And the answer was...
You.
This guy. When the Motor City Machine Guns, my pick, were victorious. Anything to add? Did you enjoy this match?
Yeah. It's a bit hard to follow that first match, though, isn't it? That was the problem.
Yeah.
You know, so, but it was a good match. I definitely didn't think, what are they called? Matt Cardona and...
The major players
weren't going to win, because I have a feeling Cardona's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Do you?
Because he's actually been teasing it.
If he's been teasing it, I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't see the point. If he's still signed with Impact, like, what's the point? It's not like
Mickey
last year when...
did it.
I know, but he's not like Mickey James. No offense to the guy. Like, people are going to go, oh man, Mickey James is coming to the Rumble. That's a big deal. I want to watch for that. Especially because, you know, she was the champion at the time as well, and that had the whole history behind it. So, oh, it's Zack Ryder. I remember him. Wasn't that a waste of talent? Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, he's been eliminated. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Like, it's not the same thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same impact to me.
And to be honest, I think we all know who's going to win the Royal Rumble anyway.
I think so, yeah. I think one of us might be wearing his shirt.
It's funny that, isn't
it? Yeah. And funnily enough, no, I don't think the Gas Monkey Garage are going to win the Royal Rumble.
Stretch.
Yes. Yeah. Could see Mickey James back in the Rumble again.
I was going to say later, especially with what's happened.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. Who knows? So I've already mentioned it, but for posterity, I got the correct prediction of the Motor City Machine Guns. You went with Ace and Bay, not correct. Yeah. So I go to 3, and you remain on 2.
I'm still a steaming pile of 2.
Forever, now and forevermore.
Cheers.
Digital Media Championship. Speaking of steaming piles of poo, Joe Hendry versus Moose. Yeah. I
do prefer that one.
The gesture along with the wrestler match. Do you want to wave your arms and be positive, or do you want to be grumpy and ask for somebody to pull the chain on their truck and make a sound? I only have one con in this match. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to be honest.
Yes.
And I'm going to save the con for afterwards. Do you have any?
No. I quite enjoyed it.
Then what's the pros then? What did you like?
The pros. Moose just shrugging off everything. You know, he was just being a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
The walking suplex outside the ring.
Yeah, I've got that one.
That was quite impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing Moose out the ring.
Yeah.
A big flip. The cutter flip over part area.
The cutter flip over part.
Yeah.
Don't remember that bit.
He did a cutter and then kind of flipped into something else and all that palaver.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I don't remember that bit. Or you're not describing it enough for me to remember either one.
One big, it wasn't a pro or a con, but it was a big thing that happened you know.
I do.
The
It's on my list as well.
the Santino Marella.
Yes. Making his return to Impact Wrestling as the Director of Authority. I say making his return.
Yeah.
This is Santino Marella's first time in Impact Wrestling. That other dude, I can't remember what his real name is and what he was going by the last time he was there. But yeah, Santino Marella with the Santino Marella name in Impact Wrestling. That is very intriguing.
Yeah.
And it could lay credence to your there is an Impact Wrestling wrestler in the Royal Rumble. Could be a quid pro quo type thing. You get to call him Santino Marella. We get Zack Ryder in the Rumble for some reason. It doesn't seem like a fair trade, but you know, Triple H is a benevolent man. Either that, or he's just chancing it. Like, use Santino Marella. What are they going to do? Sue me?
Yeah.
Well, yes, actually, they will sue you.
Yeah.
But hey, if they give Ryback their name, I don't think they're going to quibble over Santino Marella, to be honest. It's not like Santino Marella's going to take over the world and make himself a household name.
No.
And steal all the potential WWE dollar that could have happened as a result of that. So who cares, man? Let him have his name.
Yeah. Let him have his Cobra.
The only other pro that I had was heel to win from Moose. Distract the ref with the title, hit the low blow, win, walk out of there. Yeah. Which leads me to my con, restarting the match and ruining my prediction. Damn it. Yes,
so
I went with Moose.
You predicted Moose.
I went with Moose, and I was very, very happy when Moose won. And then I was happy to see Santino Marella, and then he Santino'd all over the place and ruined my prediction.
Can I say one thing that I found really funny about Santino describing how Moose won?
How?
The scrotissimus region.
I enjoyed that too. Yeah.
It's right, that's scrotissimus region.
Yeah, I do love that character. I have missed the Santino Marella character. I didn't even need him to wrestle back then. I just needed him to talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be good to see him. John Cena. Face John Cena at the Royal Rumble. So yeah, that means you got a point because you went with Joe Hendry. Woo! And I obviously went with Moose because that makes the most sense. Moose is a former world champion and he's not a goofball. So screw me, I guess. Takes you to 3, leaves me on 3.
Praise amigo.
And we move on again to another contest in which we predicted different people. Lot of difference in our predictions for this one. Number 1 contenders match for the Impact Knockouts World Championship. Deonna Purrazzo versus Masha Slamovich versus Taylor Wilde versus Killer Kelly. Who did you go with predictions?
I went with Killer Kelly, I believe.
You did go with Killer Kelly. Who did I go with, do you think?
Let me guess. Did you go with Masha Slamovich?
I did not.
Oh, thank God.
Because quite frankly, that is the only ending that doesn't make any sense at all.
Who did you go with then? Did you go with Purrazzo?
I went with Deonna Purrazzo because if Deonna Purrazzo's in the match, I'm going for Deonna Purrazzo, frankly.
Do you have a thing for Deonna Purrazzo?
I do like Deonna Purrazzo, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of my cons immediately is that the least deserving winner won. She literally just had a big feud for the Knockouts Championship. We don't need that again.
Yeah.
Stupido. Don't like that.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a match that happened as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And there was a lot of turn taking, I thought.
Yeah, I don't have a single pro. There was nothing really that stood out to me. It came, it went, and I didn't care. Which is a shame because the rest of this event has not had that feel whatsoever.
No, it's been a good event. Now it's like let it down a bit.
It has a little, yeah.
We'll move on then, shall we?
Well, yeah, because neither of us gets a point from that. So still on 3 apiece and onwards. Falls Count Anywhere in Atlanta, in case they needed to point out for the 100th time that they were in Atlanta.
Did you know they were in Atlanta?
Shut up. Steve Macklin versus Rich Swann. My only con is the crap sound quality of the outside segment. I'm like, oh man, you just ruined this for me, because it was such good fun outside, especially with like the car coming up to them and just beeping at them and just ramming Rich Swann's head off the car. Beep at me, will you? I'll dent your bonnet with a wrestler's head.
Your fryer.
It just sounded like somebody was recording the sound with a fish tank. It was weird.
Oh no, that was the thing I put. The first thing, as soon as it happened, I was like, audio.
The camera wasn't great either, actually. They've clearly got two different types of camera at the moment. They've got a good quality camera that really does colour very well. Like the colour contrast on some of the cameras is beautiful. And then they've got usually the ones that they like to point up at the lights and completely wash out the screen.
Oh yeah.
That is like the contrast is
lighting rig.
The contrast on that is terrible, and it just looks completely washed out. That's one of the ones they took outside. So I'm wondering if that's just a crappy handheld camera instead of
that's the cheap one they got off eBay.
Yeah. But we did get, as an aside, we did get much better views of the ring from the cameras. They'd elevated everything a little bit, so you weren't just looking at the light rigging for the most of the shot. So that was an improvement on the things I complained about literally every time we did an Impact event last time. So that was nice. That's my only con, though.
Yeah, the rest of it I love.
Yeah. Raven on commentary was something.
Just Raven is just something.
Him wishing on worldwide television that he's hoping somebody gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
Thanks, Raven. Thanks.
Well done, Raven.
Thanks for that.
Good job, man.
And the commentary team acknowledging what we have long been saying, and that is that Steve Macklin needs a world title shot.
Yeah. I think he needs a world title championship. That's it.
Yes.
Not just a shot. He needs to be world champion. He needs
to win it. Yeah. And he's firmly cemented as a heel now. Yeah. So they've got another pay-per-view coming up in the next couple of months. So let's build towards Rebellion. Is that the April one?
Rebellion's in April.
Yeah, that's the next pay-per-view, isn't it? They've got some Impact Plus events in the next couple of months, but Rebellion is the next pay-per-view. Let's lead there and have Steve Macklin beat Josh Alexander for the World Championship at Rebellion. I think that's long overdue. And if you were just waiting for Josh Alexander to become the longest reigning champion, you've got that now.
You've done that.
So let's give some guys who deserve it. Not that Josh doesn't deserve it, but it's done now. We've done it. It's time to move on. And that person should be Steve Macklin.
Yeah.
Has made the biggest impact, pun intended, of any of that massive group of ex-WWE guys that were released in the mass and then went to Impact. Has made the biggest name for himself, I think, of everybody. Yeah. I liked it was a weird spot, but I quite liked it. I liked Steve Macklin just flat out falling off the ramp and taking the lights with him when Rich Swann punched him. I like that Steve Macklin has knocked off another former Impact World Champion.
Yeah.
Don't think there are many left in the company that he can beat.
No.
Anything to add, sir?
No, you summed it up beautifully.
Perfect. And we both predicted it perfectly. We both went for Steve Macklin, which gives us a point each and takes us to 4.
4 horsemen.
Lovely. Moving on. The penultimate match. The pre-main event, if you will. Eddie Edwards versus Jonathan Gresham. I have mixed feelings about this one. It's not as bad as that multi-woman match.
No.
But I still really, really think that the wrong person won here. I feel like Gresham being new to Impact, or new as a just Impact wrestler anyway, I think he needed that big win over an Impact mainstay.
Yeah.
Somebody who means a lot to Impact Wrestling, even if, he has kayfabed, betrayed them and all of that kind of stuff. So I think the results took a lot away from me, which is a shame because the match itself was great.
Yeah.
I went into this thinking that anything short of a technical affair would have been a disappointment. Congrats. You gave the people what they wanted. And if I'm the people, if my opinion is what people wanted.
We the people.
It was a technical affair with a bit of brawling, smashing to go with it.
Yeah.
Anything you particularly liked about it?
You again, you summed it up.
Well, I've got more, so I'll keep talking then.
Keep going then. Keep going.
I liked the joint manipulation that Gresham did. It was more than your usual joint manipulation because he was fully controlling the entire of Eddie Edwards' body just by like holding his arm in a certain way. It was really kind of like judo-ish, but without the actual the slamming that went with it. He just literally manipulated his arm and actually was just able to walk him around the ring like a puppet, which was pretty cool. And similarly, I liked Gresham attacking the arm of Eddie Edwards instead of just returning the chops. It's become a cliche to just chop, return the chop, return the chop. But Jonathan Gresham instead was like continually attacking the arm, the elbow of Eddie Edwards, and that came back in the match continually that it had worked and he had a weakened arm. So it was, I think it was just good storytelling, completely in the ring from the match point of view. So a good showing for both these guys. And another obvious pro, my final pro, is the reanimation of PCO.
Yeah.
PCO is not human. And him spitting out sand because he'd been buried in the desert. I'm like, that dude had to put sand in his mouth to do that. And like, I appreciate his craft. PCO is fantastic. It's great. It's really great. Unfortunately, though, we both have a massive womp because we both went with Jonathan Gresham for the win because it was the right choice.
It was the only choice.
Stupid. So we're still on 4 apiece, heading into the main event. And the main event was for the Impact Knockouts World Championship. The last rodeo continued. Mickie James challenged Jordynne Grace for the World Championship. If Mickie James were to lose, she would retire.
Yes.
You can kick this one off. In a word, first of all, what did you think of this match?
Great.
It's the first time in a very long time that you haven't said meh. And I'm like,
I know.
I picked my spot. I waited, and I knew he would say something different.
Well done.
Yes, it was great. What did you enjoy about it?
This was a great match. Just everything was great about it. Jordynne Grace was being more aggressive. Mickie James was just being Mickie James. Just. Yeah.
I have 2 cons, but they're quite minor, really. I'll get to those in a second. I liked Mickie James's entrance, first of all, the Indigenous people's entrance, and her ring attire.
Yeah,
was based on that as well. But the interesting thing about that, and I need to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure that attire is what she wore, or very similar, is what she wore when she originally turned up in TNA as Alexis Lurie when she was with CM Punk and Raven. But just before that, when she was just Alexis Lurie turning up for a random match, I'm pretty sure the attire was similar. So when they said it's the first time...
What was her name?
Alexis Lurie. It won't be on a picture. People don't keep archives of the old TNA weekly pay-per-views. Nobody cared. I had to buy it on dodgily traded tapes to be able to watch it back in the day. Like that, I don't think that archive is there for people to just look through. Maybe I'm wrong, but I will go back and look. But I'm pretty sure that the attire was very similar, if not the same. And so when the commentary team said that she doesn't really reference her kind of the indigenous part of herself, I was thinking maybe she did at the beginning and then something put her off and she didn't do that again until now.
Can't find it.
Yeah, but I'll look that up and I'll if it is true, I'll put it up on the Jez Sports Facebook and Twitter pages. If not, I'll pretend I didn't say it.
Yes.
Yeah. You could see Mickie James getting very emotional during the ring announcements, and I like it brought a little bit of a welling to me as well. I'm like, man, could this be the end? I really don't think it is, but either way, this is a big emotional moment for her, whether she retires or not here, and it's nice to know that it still means something to her after all this time. That's really good. Jordynne Grace standing there, taking the slaps, and then just knocking Mickie James down with a massive slap of her own. That set the tone for the match of, no, I'm not going to let you walk over me. Like, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you, and if you want to take this win, come and take it, but I'm not going to make it easy for you. That was neat.
Yeah.
The bulldog from the top turnbuckle wasn't consequential to the end of the match, but quite early on I enjoyed that one. The superplex into the juggernaut jackhammer from Jordynne Grace. I think she's done that before, but it doesn't make it any less impressive on repeat viewings. And this one might shock you a little bit because I'm normally not a fan of this. I liked Jordynne Grace kicking out of the Mick DT. Normally I hate people kicking out of finishers. They're called finishers. They should finish. But in the context of this match, it made perfect sense because Jordynne Grace was by far the more formidable of the two, and Mickie James had to throw everything at this match in order to get the win. So her finisher failing to put it away on the first attempt made sense from a story point of view. So I'm not giving people carte blanche to just kick out of finishers left, right, and centre like they normally do, but I think it should happen very rarely, and this was a rare occasion in which I think it worked.
Yeah.
Any pros to add before I get to my slight nitpicks?
No.
The package powerbomb from Jordynne Grace. Mickie James handed her hands to her under her legs, basically. It just looked like, if you can't do a move without somebody giving you their body part to do it, don't do the move. Do a different one. That's my opinion there. And Mickie James clearly tapped.
She clearly did tap out.
That's a rookie error from somebody who is very much not a rookie and doesn't make these mistakes. I'm like, oh man, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Like, what reflex was it that made you do that? But she definitely tapped. Took away a little bit for me, but it was what it was. The match continued. Mickie James won.
Yeah.
Did you pick Mickie James?
I did pick Mickie James.
Did I pick Mickie James?
I presume you did.
I did indeed, yes. Yeah. So we will each receive a point there, which takes our final score on the day to 5 apiece.
5.
And that once again does very little to our predictions because we end on a tie, but the score goes up. It makes a bigger number. My bigger number is now 28. Your bigger number is now 26, which is still 2 apart from each other.
Close, though.
It is close, and there is only one event to go. And I say there are 2 big matches that are quite hard to predict. I think we're both going to be predicting the same thing for one of those big matches, and I think we might be swerved, to be honest, and I think somebody else might win it, but that doesn't change the fact that I will be picking Cody Rhodes to win the Rumble.
Yeah, me too. So.
But there might be a few things that we could differ on there, but I'm feeling quietly confident. And not even quietly, actually. I'm just feeling confident. I think it's going to happen. It's going to come up here, replace the TNA Heavyweight Championship on my shelf, take pride of place on everything, be right there, all the way through to at least WrestleMania, when the next quarter of competition will end. Hey,
I don't have any other belts.
Don't worry about it. At least someone will take some photos of it as a result of me winning it.
I don't have good lighting.
No, you don't. But I do. There's one right there, looking at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, finishing off, we need to give this show a rating. And the only fitting rating system that I can think of for this show. Please, Dan, today give me a score for Impact Hard to Kill 2023 out of 5 Mickie Jameses. Just straight up.
All right, then. Well,
Please
I thought this was...
dismember her to give me a half or something. It's a bit odd.
I don't think I'm going to give her a half.
Okay.
I'm going to cut her in half. Because I actually thoroughly enjoyed this. Thoroughly. So, and you might be surprised at this, going to be a 4.
I'm not surprised at that, actually, because I thoroughly enjoyed this event as well. And I think if this were in an Impact, in an AEW venue or a WWE venue with a bigger crowd, I think this would hands down be a candidate for pay-per-view of the year this early on. They're not big events anymore in Impact Wrestling. And it's kind of not their fault. It kind of is, I guess. I don't know how to reconcile that. But the in-ring action and everything that happened really stood for itself. I can't give it a 4 because of the still kind of errors in production that are happening. I just don't get how they still happen. Like, all the way through the Don West, like, tolling of the bell, you could hear Josh Matthews, the producer, counting down. I'm like, this is so rookie. I don't know how you do this. It's like buttons or sliders or clicking. It's not difficult. I don't understand. And then you've still got, they're using cheap-ass cameras in some places, and the sound from outside, it's like things like that just take away from the experience of it. In the wrestlers in the ring, all good. I would give that 4 out of 5 any day. But the production knocks it down for me. So I'm gonna have to dismember her. I'm gonna have to do it.
Oh my
God! I'm gonna cut Mickie James in half, discard one half, and then add that half to 3 whole Mickie Jameses to give Impact Hard to Kill 3.5 Mickie Jameses.
Are you cutting her that way or that way?
Oh, that's a good question. This is a family-friendly show. I'm not sure I should answer that. And that is where we will leave this before I get myself in trouble. Thank you very much for joining us to discuss Impact Hard to Kill. If you've just tuned into us because you don't tend to watch Impact Wrestling, go and watch this event. You won't regret it. We're on a somewhat good streak of good events. I would recommend thoroughly 2 of the 3 that we've discussed so far.
Discard the last one.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad this was good. I would have been beside myself if Impact Hard to Kill was bad in addition to NXT New Year's Evil, because that was terrible. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Impact Wrestling. Thank you so much for producing a decent event. And on that note, it's time for us to go. The next time that we see you, we will be discussing the WWE Royal Rumble. Triple H's first Royal Rumble in charge. Baby. Maybe his last Royal Rumble in charge. Not to put a downer on things.
Yeah. Maybe Mickie James coming back with the Impact title, like she did
Maybe
last
Zack
year.
Ryder. Woo woo woo.
Well, he'll be Matt Cardona, because he said he doesn't want to be called Zack Ryder. He won't.
Either way,
Matt Cardona.
No one will care.
Yeah.
But I hope you care about us here on the Main Event Podcast, and we'll see you next time. I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.